Going to be going for a little while longer than normal today. Let me pull up Discord and start dumping all my chats in there. Alrighty, so let's go into mine. Alrighty, so let's go into my announcements. There we go. And then we hit that, and then we're going to go into the narrative jam. Control E. There we go. Alright, we're going to refresh this. Stay with this, go down a bit. Alrighty. So there's all that nonsense. I'm going to pull this up. Just making sure everything's set. I'm going to have a better routine eventually here. Alright. Okay, now I'm going to post the link to my prototype. Alrighty. This way we can get a little bit of traction on it. Probably not a whole lot, but a little bit at the least. Alrighty. Alright. So for my particular project, yet again, it is going to be the boat combat. With a bit of a story, a bit of a creepy, crazy little background there. Which I think is going to be kind of fun for people who don't know some of the references that I'll be making in it. I think it'll be fun. Alrighty. And then I'm going to pull this up and pull that up. There we go. Looking perfect. Looking perfect. Looking perfect. All right. So you can probably see all this weird stuff right here. All these weird bits. So with these, let me actually create a couple of empties here. Create empty. All right. Fire point. And we're going to do the same to here with this. These are to measure field of view. The blue ones measure the field of view for the guns, like how far they'll be able to turn. The red ones here are directly attached to the guns, and they're going to be measuring, you know, if the player's in firing range. Which most of the time the player will be in firing range if these things are on top of them. All right. So we are going to take this, copy components. The code for these is incredibly annoying. But it does the job. And let's take these firing points and lower them. We're going to lower them down there a little bit to where they're probably just below the water. And then we're going to, whoops, I'm going to take just these two. Let's do that. Let's increase their height to like 1 point, shit, not 10, 0.3. There we go. Should be just enough for me to see it above the blue. There we go. We'll take a look all around. Yep, it's just below the water, so you'll definitely be able to see them. Occlusion, we'll hit it to nothing because I don't want it to... I want to make sure this adds it properly. Because we're going to do the same with the player's guns. These guns on there will be auto-tracking. You see? See how they auto-track there? I know it's hard to see, but it auto tracks. I'll just go to the front one here. That's the back one. Let's go to the front one here. Alrighty. And now we need to go on to this one here. We're going to do this first with the large turret up at the front. And we're going to create two things. Firstly, we're going to create an empty for player FOV. There will be a little button that you can trigger to enable gun locking. Excuse me. Alrighty. Excuse me. What's that? Yeah, my friend Jeff has finally fallen to chaos. Yes. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this moving a bit. Let's turn up this volume just slightly. Alright. So first thing we need to do is take the player's FOV. Leave it as it is. This is... No, we need to move that because the player will be able to fire on their own. So we actually need to put it under the weapons part. And then we're going to stick it down a bit. And then we're going to do the same thing. Paste component is new. However, we are going to increase the angle to right about there. Let's put it right about there. That way it's in front of the player still. Change the color of it to yellow. And let's thin it out. This way we can differentiate between player and enemy stuff. We're going to be looking for... I can't believe I didn't save the layers. Enemy. We're going to go player FOV. Enemy. Nothing. Alright. Take this. Enemy. No, this object only. We're going to increase the distance, however, to right there, just so we can test. Alright. There we go. Alright. So we need to go into player combat, player boat combat. Let's go to enemy small first to make sure that none of these were fucked. Okay, okay. Firing FOV, so we need to go to fire point, right. Why do I have them backwards? Oh well. We're going to rename them. Alrighty, that works.
It's better outside.
Ah, fucking ads. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. I wish it would tell me where the ads are so I can plan ahead. Anyway. Do I need to add in the player's guns? for the player combat. Yes it does. Yes it does. So we are going to put gun. Okay. Alright. Where are we? Alright, so we need to go down, see where we missed everything here. Okay, nothing's missing. What's that set to thing? Okay. Anyway. Alright. So player boat combat now. Let's see. So if there is no target, okay. And bow stern guns. So we're going to place field of view right there. Alright. Whoopsie. It's a bit weird. Guns, the eye. It's still not right because I did the wrong one. Did it again. And again. Bow stern guns. Why is it making my whole thing turn? Is a question. Huh. Weird. Let's try that. Maybe that'll do it. Kind of hoping at the least. Let's test it out now. Doing it again. Huh. I don't know how to make this do a thing. I don't know why it's doing that. And it's having me face directly backwards, too. Huh. Hmm. Let's take a look at this. Nah, that's not going to work too well. Let's cut all this out real quick. See if this just automatically makes it do it. This way, we know what's going on. Because I'm honestly curious to make sure that this works. So for that, we're going to zoom in on here real quick. Yeah, that does it. Alrighty. Let's try this again. Let's see. All right. All right, let's try this here. Okay, gun dot transform dot position target dot position. Alrighty. Lerp, not slurp. Okay. I don't know why they use these weird terms like lerp and slurp. It's always weird. Alright. Let's remove this. Hopefully that'll fix everything. If not, we're just going to have it stick with snapping. I know it's dumb, but, it might have to be done. Yeah. Alright, well, I think I'll have to make it go snap. It's okay. That'll help the player no matter what. Alrighty. Excuse me. Alrighty. Okie dokie. If there is no target, okay. Gun dot transform dot rotation equals transform dot rotation 0, 0, 0. Right? Does that works? Oh, that's right. I gotta set it to vector 3. Oops. I'm not too good with vector 3s. Anyway. Set it to public vector 3. Start vector, or vector, I guess. Gun dot transform dot rotation equals start vector dot transform why that doesn't help. Okay, anyway. What do you want, Jeff? All right. So we need to go here. Let's see, timer UI spot. Let's just public transform, have it set to, let's just have it set front face. Actually, we have it set to reset face. We're getting rough. All right. Gun dot transform, or gun dot rotation equals reset face dot rotation. There we go. All right, let's test it out. Oh shit. I need to go into here and reset face, player FOV. There we go. All right, let's try. Alrighty. So let's go to the gun FOV. Nothing. Let's actually cut that out. Let's Val stern guns. It's dot 0. Dot objects equals null. All right. Yoink and yoink. There we go. Yes, it is Unity. Hello, Jelly Alv. That right? Am I saying that right? Jelly Alv? Or how would you like to be addressed? Yes, this is Unity. This is very much so Unity, and I hate these goddamn copyright. All these damn ads. Oh. I'm getting real sick of this shit. There we go. I gotta find a better playlist. But yes, this is very much so Unity. Alright. Now let's see this. See if it'll turn. The goal for this is to have the boat turn, lock onto a target, but whenever there's like no targets, boom, go right back to facing straight. Because basically I want it to reset. Alright, so doink, got a target. What the hell? Let's see. Oh, okay, I gotta set the target equals null. Okay. Target equals null. Alrighty. But yes, this is this is Unity, Jelly. It's the one engine that I'm like best with. I've messed around with Unreal a bit, but it always felt kind of awkward to me. Doink. Huh. This is certainly weird. We want to have it set to length. Dot objects dot length equals 0. Count equals 0. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Just want to make sure I address you correctly is all. If we go and talk, I want to make sure I say your name right. Okay. But yeah, Unity's what I'm best with. So this is what I'm working with. There we go. Snaps. So we can fire and hit it on target every time. And then, of course, we can always do torpedoes as well, which I got to adjust the speed of those things. Yeah, I think I'll adjust the speed of a torpedo real quick. Alright, let's look up torpedo. Speed. We'll set the speed to 5. Test that out. Okay. Are you working on the narrative jam as well? You doing that too? You part of the GM? So it's a 12. There we go. That'll work. That'll do. What's up, Nepal? How you doing, man? Oh, I saw your post in the Discord just now. I will be checking out your video whenever I have a couple minutes. Because, well, I don't have a couple minutes at the moment. Because I am working on this. Also, for Jelly, feel free to join our Discord. I will place the Discord link in chat right now. If you want to hang out with all those peoples. I'll put it in the Kick chat as well. There we go. chats and chats and chats. Alrighty. There we go. Lower the chord of dis. Alrighty. So we've got the guns working as we should. So I want the rear-facing guns and the front-facing guns to... Well, I might just remove the rear-facing guns or have those be set to only fire backwards. We'll have them set to only fire backwards. Directly backwards, because I think that might be... Finally publish... You're doing a reaction commentary now, so I can hope to influence large developers. Oh, you're hoping to get them to publish it on the Switch? I actually see them doing that at some point in the future. Not the near future. Because to publish them on the Switch, I don't know if that would overblow the hard drive or that would be like a huge file. Because, what is it? Wind Waker would probably be easier to publish on the Switch because the graphics are low res. Compared to Twilight Princess, which is very high resolution. And it was very dark. It was one of my favorites. But they might. I'm not sure. The reason they published Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time is because those were instant cult classics. And of course they came from the Nintendo 64 era. People were playing them a lot on emulators, so they tried to get in on that, piece of the pie. And try to... Instead of people playing emulators, they wanted to direct them towards their stuff, towards like they wanted the money for it, so that's why they put them on the Switch, so people would be less likely to go to emulators and more likely to spend money on the Switch, and that's why they boosted the graphics up a little bit. And I'm just gonna say this: the Majora's Mask on the Switch was the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It's because all the bosses, you had to strike some strange eye. The only acceptable reason for pirating games if you cannot buy it anywhere. Yeah, I mean, that's why if you go to a lot of there's one emulator thing I go to a lot, and their slogan is preserving the classics, because a lot of big name developers don't revisit their old titles. For example, Sony with the PlayStation. One of their biggest titles, one of their most successful titles, was Twisted Metal. I'm going to go ahead and push this forward. But one of their most successful titles, and actually one of their original IPs, was indeed Twisted Metal. And that was wildly successful. As a matter of fact, when they published it back in '95, they didn't expect it to get anywhere, but it got Game of the Year, the original Twisted Metal, and that was one of their very first IPs, and they don't remake them anymore. The closest we got was, I think it was Twisted Metal Head On for the I think it was for the PlayStation 2 port. They added on Twisted Metal 1's deleted FMV cutscenes. Because, hey, at the time in '95, those were considered too raunchy. Now they're just flat out too stupid. They're just so goofy and dumb. Such hammy acting, terrible voice actors, except for Calypso, and awful story endings. But, what are you going to do? And it's just fun to watch. If you've never heard of Twisted Metal, it's car combat, and was 100% my jam as a kid. 100%. Actually play it a lot. I might do a playthrough of it. I'm not sure on here. I suck. As a kid, I kicked ass, but I suck now. So yeah. But I might do a bit of a playthrough on here just for fun. This is actually loosely inspired by Twisted Metal being some degree of vehicular combat. Oh, now we need to do, what is it, combat for the enemies, them firing. So let's go to enemy combat. excuse me. So we've got the guns, got the gun battery, firing FOV. Okay. Let's create a separate function for firing. Public void fire guns. Alright. So now we need to create a game object. Game object. Cannon missiles. Or we'll just put it shells. Alright. Alright. So where are the guns set at? I want to make sure I've got this correct here. It's canvas. I don't know why it's highlighting the canvas. Enemy small. You'll be watching in the background. You'll be lurking. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Guns. See, that's the medium cannons. We are now going to set the cannons fire point. Alrighty, so now we are going to create empties for both of these cannons for their create empties. Muzzle point. Same for this one. Muzzle point. Alrighty, so now we're going to take the front muzzle point here. I'm going to actually go into the mesh here and set it forward. So we need to create muzzle points. I just need to delete those things. Alright, muzzle point A. Okay, duplicate, pull this one out over to here. Alright, duplicate, and set this one to negative just to get it right there. Alright, so that seems to be working. I might just remove this rear turret altogether, because these are going to be the smallest boats, so I want them to be, you know, blown up pretty easily, pretty well. So there's that. Transform.guns, cannon shells, public transform. Let's see, muzzle points. All right. So let's go into the player boat combat. So we're going to just take this and just slap it there. Alright. And create a float. Private float fire timer. And we're going to set these to muzzle points. And just rename everything for this. Alright, so cannon shells. Muzzle points, muzzle points. Public float speed. And do the same here. There we go. I love the new auto fix feature that's in Unity with the new adjustments to Microsoft Visual Studios. It's always fun. Let's go to copy. Alright, if fire timer is less than or equal to 0. Not fire guns, fire timer, dingbat. Fire guns. going to save all that. So now we're going to go into missile. Oops. I might take a break here for lunch shortly, just because I am really hungry. Take the player-based missile and duplicate. Alright. So we're going to go into now the player's destroyer thing here. Boat combat, 1000. Sorry if it sounds like I've got a stuffy nose. I did have allergy issues earlier. Alrighty. We need to go back into here. Where? Okay, yeah, we need to set this to T. Alright, there we go. That fixed that problem. Cannon Fist, are you designing a game? Yes, I am. I am designing a game for the Narrative Game Jam Awards, which started a few days ago. The idea is to create a narrative in any way you see fit, and the theme for it is nautical. So I have been working on ideas to make it water ocean based, and my project involves boat combat. That's my idea, boat combat. It's gonna have a really unexpected twist at the end of it, like just an unexpected, like, what the hell kind of thing, because I'm really, really excited for that. Anybody who knows me personally knows exactly what I'm gonna do. How long does it take me to make a game like this from beginning to end? Are we referencing how long it takes me to make a jam game, or like a game in general? What do you mean by that? Like from the moment I start to the moment I finish. Are you talking about that, or are you talking about like game jam links? Oh, a game in general? It depends. It depends on what I'm going for and what the idea behind it is. For example, game jams, I can usually bust out a game in the jam time frame, be it a couple days, a week, 2 weeks, what have you. But if the game I'm planning, usually, like with my horror game projects, that can take me 2 to 3 weeks, especially if I want to send a message more than I actually want to build a story for it, which is typically what I do. But if it's other projects, like my primary project, which the link to that is the pinned comment, the RPG project I'm working on is taking me a grand total with the various graphical iterations and gameplay iterations. It's been taking me about 6 years. But that's because I like get a shiny. I like with this I have ridiculous ADHD. I play a game, think, oh, this is really cool, and then, like, oh, this idea is cooler, and I just restart the whole thing because I'm stupid. But the current graphical and gameplay iteration of my RPG project, I have been working on for about a year. Oh, you have ADHD too? So anytime you're making a game, and you see, like, oh, this would be cool to add in, you end up putting it in there, and it changes the whole fucking thing. That's me. That's why you stream games now. Stream game development or stream gameplay. And do you stream just on Kick, or do you also stream on Steam, on Twitch? I had to get that out of my mouth. I take Concerta from ADHD. It helps a lot. I feel like a robot. Before I answer you, Nepal, I've got to address this. You are not too stupid to stream a game. Or to program a game. You're not too stupid to do that. Every single programmer starts somewhere. We don't go into this with some arcane knowledge of how to do everything. We don't. We just don't. You want to know a little secret? I never went to school for it. I never learned it from a formal classroom. I learned this. I learned how to program, how to code in C#, Ruby Event System, and a little bit of Java, which isn't saying much. I learned all of that from mainly YouTube tutorials, and then adding a code that I find on the internet and picking it apart to see what does what and what works, and you know what makes it tick. It's like taking apart a radio whenever you're a kid. We all start somewhere. Your journey is by no means rushed. It's a journey. Okay, okay, I get it. I get it. I I understand where you're coming from, but I will say it's never too it's never too late to learn a new skill. Who knows? Maybe once you get into programming, you'll make a couple games that are going to flop. That's just the nature of things. But you'll make a couple of games. Some of them won't be good. Your first one never is. But the moment you make the game, the one game that sticks, your whole career, your whole future, however long you want that to be, could be set in stone by your next project. Let's look at Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's look at him for a second. I know his story well because I see myself in it. He worked at a Dollar General. I believe it was a Dollar General. It might have just been a generic dollar store for a long while, taking orders from teenagers and young people. He was like in his late 20s, early 30s. And he made games, mostly on Blender. And a lot of his games didn't really do too well. They didn't catch. Got a couple people playing. By couple, it could have been a couple hundred. I don't quite know that number. But one person said on a comment of his game that was about beavers building a dam, he said, "Your beavers look like creepy animatronics." That spawned him to want to make something creepy. So he made Five Nights at Freddy's. All that took was one person playing that game. Just one. That was Markiplier. Played that game, and that guy's career took off. All because of one project. One project. And that was Five Nights at Freddy's. Now this guy is waking up, rolling in cash. His game spawned so many knockoffs. Knockoff is by no means a bad term. It just means it emulates it. But all it took for him was to make one special project. Just the one. This guy, Scott Cawthon's got a ton of games out there. But Five Nights at Freddy's cemented his life and cemented his career. And he changed the horror game landscape forever. So by no means is it too late, or are you too old to learn something new. If you have kids, you could be setting their future by taking control of your own and taking it by the horns, taking it by the reins, and saying, you know what, this is not where I want to be, so I'm going to make this where I want to be. Do I know what to do? No. Do you know where it's going to end up? No. But you have an idea of where you want to be. That's kind of what spawned me to do this. It was a random event. Something thinking, well, if this guy can do it, who says I can't? And look at me now. I learned, I would say in the competency of C#, I'm about a 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10. I'm by no means a master. Math still hurts my brain. But I learned all of this shit on my own in my late 20s, my current early 30s. Because I wanted to. You're never too old to learn something new, man. Never give up on yourself. Never say, oh, I'm too old to do this. Dude, I appreciate it. If you want, you can go over to the Twitch and give it a follow on there. I'm currently working on a real-life tabletop board. Ooh! If that ever gets completed, I would love to make a digital video game version of it. That sounds cool. That sounds cool. I love board games. I'm a big D&D guy. I've been playing D&D since I was 12, so about 21 years now. My dad got me into it. It's fine if you only use Kick. That's perfectly fine. We can do the same thing with Kick. I'm new to Kick, but I've noticed it's very much so like an overlap of Twitch. So there's a lot of similar functions, so it's like easy for to transition. But I love board games, especially fantasy ones. Being a big D&D fan myself, I really want to play the RuneScape Legends tabletop because I'm a big RuneScape player too. Been playing RuneScape for about the same amount of time. But I love fantasy stuff. I love board games. Tell me about it. Go on to our Discord, which the link is in the pin chat as well. I don't know how long it lasts for. Go into that. Like just post about it and whatever. And I'm pretty sure everybody that's in there is going to respond because I love board games and a lot of people that are in there love fantasy stuff too. but yeah, I would love to see it. I would love to see your tabletop board game. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. You're about 75% done with the game. Do you have a site or anything that I can check out, or are you still like working up to that? While we're answering that, I'm going to jump up to Nepal there. You take Concerta for your ADHD. Pros, it helps a lot. Cons, you feel like a robot. There's absolutely nothing wrong with taking medication for your mental health. I do it. I take 3 medications a day. I have bipolar, which is my manic depressive, severe anxiety, and wicked PTSD, and of course, depression. I got wicked PTSD from my childhood, which not going to go into that, but I do. I take 3 medications a day. And you have to weigh the pros and cons of how you are with your medications versus how you are without them. And I'm not talking in the regards of being what people want you to be. Being like, I want these people to like me, so I'm going to take these meds. It's about you liking who you are. You being okay with the person that you are on your medications and on your treatment plan. Without my medications, without my Seroquel, my Lamictal, my Prazosin, I am not a pleasant person to be around. It's not like I'm angry and like go crazy or anything, but I'm quiet. I'm reserved. I am in my own head, which is not a good thing. And I generally don't sleep. Like, I get super depressed. I get super isolated. I'm a massive introvert, and I'm also not motivated at all. I will give up on things without a moment's hesitation sometimes. But I got tired of being that way. I got tired of being nothing, in a sense. And I thought, you know what? I'm done with that. I'm done with it. I'm done with being this way. So I took the reins, started getting some therapy, which ironically was cheap, federally funded. So I got real lucky with that. They put me on medications, and I decided, that I hate taking meds. I really, really hate taking meds. But I know the person I am without them, and it's not somebody I want to be. So I did it for myself. I did it because I wanted to be somebody I could be proud of. So you've got to weigh the pros and the cons just like you do. You feel like a robot, but at the same time, do you like who you are without them? Going back to Conan, not Canon. You're working on your game at home, but right now you set it aside as I just started streaming. Awesome. So any follows would help out. The way you describe yourself sounded like you were describing me as well. I am going to get you Gotcha. I gave you an extra. You have ADHD issues your whole life. I understand that. For the most part in my life, I thought I had ADHD and stuff. But part of the reason that I have a degree of PTSD, this is just a small portion. My mother had me on a cocktail of medications that would change constantly. Wellbutrin. What was that one you mentioned, Nepal? Concerta. I was on Concerta for a while. As well as a couple other medications that I can't remember. She had me on a cocktail of stuff. So it was always changing. And I think for the most part that fried my memory because I can barely remember anything from high school. I'm from Ohio. I live in North Carolina, but I'm from Ohio, and whenever I first started going back up there to see friends and family, I did take Ritalin, actually. I did take Ritalin. That was one of them. I didn't take that one for long. I took that one for like a month. But whenever I go up to Ohio, whenever I would still make the effort to see some of my old friends, there were people that would hang out with our friend group that I wouldn't remember who the hell they are, but apparently they had all these memories with me. I didn't know their names. It was as if I've never seen them before, but they were describing all the stuff we did. And I don't remember it. So the vast amount of medications I had just fried my brain. Also have PTSD from a very abusive childhood, but I'm not going to get into that. So for a while, I didn't have any control over my mental health, at least not that was adequate. So, you know, I understand the not the concept or the idea, but the state of struggling with some sort of mental health concern your entire life. I understand that a lot. So not that I see myself in you, but I see a sense of brotherhood in that, in both you, Nepal and Conan. I see a sense of brotherhood in that we share that experience, so we share... Oh, programming is not the only thing I do to keep my mind active. I show these things a lot on my stream, but I play Warhammer 2 a lot. Well, not recently because my friend group was... We kind of fell apart in terms of our Warhammer group. But, you know, I play a lot of tournaments, especially charity tournaments. And I love painting. I paint these things quite a bit. These are my Warhammer minis. And, yeah, this helps keep my mind focused as well. If you join our Discord, I did just make a Warhammer channel, so if you got anything like any interest in that, more than happy to jump in. But there's a lot of things I do to keep my mind occupied. Programming is one of them. I'm on my computer programming at least once a day. Your last 2 years were driven by media addiction. I can understand that. God, I can understand that. It's nothing, honestly, media addiction, like politics, if you're from the U.S., that is a big thing right now. I am not going to get into politics. I am not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. But politics is something you can't escape these days. So you not to say you have to have an opinion, but you have to be aware of things. You don't have to have an in-depth knowledge, but you have to be aware. But yeah, my mental health journey has not been super pleasant, but I'm miles ahead of who I was. I'm miles ahead of who I was, so whenever you take the reins of your mental health, you take control, you just grab it by the throat and be like, you're not going to rule me anymore. I'm going to rule you. Now, with that said, taking medications does help you manage it. It helps you to manage the noise in your head. It does help you to manage the shadows and the light that comes with mental health struggles. But there are going to be times where your problem's going to poke through. whether it be a day, 2 days, a couple hours even. There's going to be times, even with medication and therapy, where your darkness is just going to poke through for a small period of time. I take my meds, and I take them every day faithfully without flaw. But there's still a day or two where stuff pokes through. You're never going to get rid of your mental health concerns. Those are never going to go away. Once they're there, they're there. You're never going to get over it. But you will be able to live better with it. And part of that is pushing outside your comfort zones. One thing I see a lot of, and unfortunately I see it quite a bit, and it breaks my heart, is people being, for lack of a better term, comfortable in their misery. That being that they've been in this rut or this downward spiral for such a big portion of their life that they know nothing else. They know how to live their lives in that bubble, in that downward spiral, in that depressive rut. They know how to live in that. Even though it's a miserable existence, they know how to live with it. They know how to move forward with it. They know that it requires no effort to stay there. They're afraid to go beyond that rut. They're afraid to go beyond that bubble to see what's beyond it and to live in what is beyond it. So there are people who are comfortable in that misery, and it breaks my heart because I was like that for a while, but I decided, screw that, I'm done with this. Just because you have a mental health concern does not mean you have to stay in that rut. You have to put your foot out. Take that first step, no matter how small it is. Even if it's going so far as to tell somebody about your problems. A friend, a family member, a relationship. Say, hey, I need to talk to you about what's going on inside my head. I am having these kind of thoughts. I'm having difficulty with this. That first step, just take a small step. Just do that. And then try to take another small step. And then another, and then another, and another, one after the other. And eventually you'll find out that those small steps... What the hell? Okay, sorry, I got a notification. Those one small steps, every day, those one tiny little small steps are going to take you a mile away from where you were. And all it takes is one small step at a time. So don't be... You know what, Conan? You sound a lot like my dad. He has that exact same mindset. Why live with negativity, sad, or angry attitude? Choose happiness. That's my dad. That's very much so my dad's mindset. I try to embrace parts of that, but there are parts of my mentality that no matter how hard I go, how hard I try, I can't drop it. I have a lot of furious anger towards my mother because of the upbringing I had that I just can't let go of. I just can't. No matter how hard I try, that anger just sticks. And that, in a sense, is... Like I said before, that is my small, comfortable in my misery aspect of my life that I need to work on. Because that anger towards what happened to me is a degree, I guess, of comfort and safety because I know what it feels like and it's justified. So that's a problem I need to work through. My next therapy session, I think, is actually next week. Next Thursday. I usually try to set my therapy appointments on Thursday because that's whenever I go up to Wilmington to play D&D. But that is an aspect of my mentality that I need to work on. I have no kids, by the way. I've got 3 cats. I mean, that's as most as my dad and stepmother are going to get. Just cats. They're not getting kids out of me. I'm not in any relationship, haven't been one 3 years, and I honestly don't plan to be in one. But yeah, we all have that. It is, it is holding on to a poison that slowly kills you. I understand that. I know what that is. But again, my little corner of misery that I'm comfortable in is that anger. I've actually thought about this and let it roil around in my mind so much that I plan to visit my mother before she dies, like if she's on her deathbed, but not to say goodbye, not to forgive her, not to love her, but to say one thing to her and walk away. I don't know if you've ever played Batman Arkham Origins, but there is a line that Bane says that I have planned to say. I have long waited for this moment. With your death, I will find peace. And because it's not just that she hurt me whenever I was a kid. It's that she is going to continue to hurt other people because that's who she is. That's, I guess, what the anger stems from. Is that she's not done being the way she is. So, that's what angers me more. Is that she's not stopping. She hasn't. Now, this has gotten really deep, really fast. I'm comfortable talking about my struggles. So, this doesn't, like, I'm not embarrassed or anything at all, but by the gods, have I stopped? Have I stopped working? Tell you what, the hell? Oh, that's my skateboarding group. Yeah, I skate, by the way, too. We are going to take a quick break for lunch. I am hungry. I admire Nelson Mandela greatly for doing something I couldn't do. And that is spending all those years in prison and still held on to that idea of freedom from apartheid. I think it was apartheid. But freedom for his people, equal treatment, justice. He stuck by that all the time in prison. If he allowed himself to not hate his captors for that long, he's got a stronger sense of will than I ever could. And MLK, that's right, Nepal, not nipple. MLK, Nelson Mandela, they held on to love. They held on to peace. While fighting for it, but they held on to the dreams of peace, which is just something... I don't know. I would love the concept of peace if we're talking about mental peace, but anger is too strong a player in my life right now, and it's something like I don't get fits of anger where I start swinging, start throwing hands. My anger tends to manifest in me sitting in silence and brooding, thinking. That's how my anger tends to manifest, just going quiet. I work in retail. Whenever I get angry at somebody, like a customer, I tend to be very quiet and just like let it happen. Just let them continue to shout and scream. And then I'm basically like, are you done? I do keep up with my therapy. I do. I sometimes I'll miss an appointment because I forget, but I'm never not wanting to do it. I am never not wanting to continue my my therapeutic regimen. I am never not wanting to continue to be the person I am. And I need to address that. My current therapist, she's leaving that office, so I'm going to be getting another one, which is fine. I've gone through like 3. But yeah. We're going to take a break for lunch because I'm hungry and I need to go make a bowl of ramen. But I will be back, we'll say about 15 minutes. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be back a little bit after that. I would love to have you around, Conan. I love talking. I do. I love chit-chatting with you guys. I love being active with my chat, even if it stops me and distracts me from what I'm doing. I love doing it. Whenever I say I read chat on my things, I do, to the best of my ability, at the very least. I'm going to go ahead and take a break. If you're heading out, like if you're leaving, sorry, I got caught reading something. If you're heading out and leaving, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope to see you again soon. Yeah, streaming can be very therapeutic, Nepal. It is. And you play fun games like Baldur's Gate. What's your stream schedule? If you go into Discord to private PM me or DM me, I guess, your stream schedule, and I'll be sure to check it out. Oh, I know what Baldur's Gate is. But yeah, we're going to take a break. I'll be back in a little bit. See you guys in just a minute. Alright, I'm back. I'm going to turn the volume down on this a little bit, but I got some funny shit. Some funny shit to say. Alright, I'm a little bit later coming back from the lunch than I wanted to be. But some funny crap happened. Something really funny happened. So, as soon as I got done... What the hell? Why does this sound weird? So, as soon as I got off to go get lunch, I saw that my my nephew and my dad are playing Monopoly in the other room. And I always mess with my nephew. I love him to death, but I always mess with him. So I went in there and was like, what you guys doing? And they're playing Warhammer Monopoly, might I add. I went in there and I stood over my nephew and I was like, he was about to roll his dice. I'm like, roll double ones. And I'll be damned if he didn't roll double ones. It was one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen in my life. He's about ready to roll, get ready to go. And I'm like, roll double ones. He rolls double ones. And it was fucking awesome. Anyway, let's get back to work. I just thought that was funny. Okay, so we need to go into here at point speed. Okay. All right, so let's go into here. I need to... Excuse me here. Thank you. All right. Player base missile 1. Let's rename it. Enemy missile. Okay. So we need to... I need to check the missile script. Let's see. Alright, so this is for the player missile, so we actually need to copy all of this. There we go. Alrighty, so we are going to go into here, create a new script. Enemy missile. Excuse me. This way we can just create another universal one for enemy projectiles. Enemy, and then again enemy. Okay, so that looks all right. So we're now going to pull the enemy missile script. Whoopsie. We're going to pull this out and set it right here. And we're going to go into this, go into the capsule, remove component, enemy missile, trail renderer. Put that right there. Explosion. Fire contact. There we go. Whoops. Fire contact. Kabooing. What did I set it as? What is the difference there? Literally no difference. Anyway, speed, set it to 1,000. There we go. And then we're just going to override. Apply all. Is my mic working? Did I turn my mic on? Yeah, my mic's on. Okay. Making sure. Okay. So now we're going to delete this. Go into enemy small. Cannon shells. There we go. All right. There we go. Let's test it out. Well, I'm in range to be shot. Right? Yeah, I should be in range to be shot there. Let's go to the medium cannons. Fire point. I'm in line of sight. Oh, wait, what? Enemy combat. Let's see. E moved at attack distance. Huh. Fire guns. Alrighty. Alright. Fire timer greater than 0. Fire timer equals time dot delta time. Oh, okay. I got a fruit snack bag there. Yeah, I'm 33 years old and I eat fruit snacks. What of it? Alrighty. Alright. So this should be doing it here. Let's see. Enemy missile. Muzzle points. I forgot to set the muzzle points. That's the problem. There we go. Alright. Now let's try it. Huh. Are they hitting each other or something? Or they're probably hitting each other. Alright. Enemy missiles. Alright. Yeah, I need to go in here and space them out a bit more, don't I? Probably. So let's go to the muzzle points. Let's go ahead and zoom in a bit more. Yeah, they're probably sitting right next to each other. Scoot you over a bit. Go to muzzle point 2. Huh. Oh, shit. Shit. Okay. I'm an idiot. Just probably need to pull the muzzle points up a bit too. Yeah. Push them forward a bit. This is going to be set at enemy. Now let's yeah, it's still smacking. It's probably this right here. Let me go ahead and do this whole turret. Know this object only. Alright, so that works. Let's see if it works now. Why is it still knocking? And why is it moving backwards? Huh. Oh, okay, I get it now. I'm dumb. What? Why? set every single fucking thing to enemy. They should not be colliding. What is the deal? Enemy missile. Enemy missile. Enemy missile. Let's turn that off, see if that helps. It's still blowing up right in front. Why is it doing that? Excuse me. I shouldn't be doing what it's doing. Still nothing. It's the tag. It's the fucking tag. Okay. There we go. All right. All right. So we need to take the enemy here. Now let's try. Still doing it. Why? Ugh. Set these to enemy. Maybe that'll help. This is the missiles. It's a player base missile. Set to player. That's set to player as well. Okay, so we need to set it to enemy. Maybe that'll help. It's still doing it. Huh. Alright, collider. We're going to set it to enemy. Now let's try it. It's only going out. Let me take the muzzle points and set those up. See if maybe that helps. No, it's still doing their thing. Set it up here. Still there. Take muzzle point. Toss it that way. Toss it that way. Yeah, it's the missiles. I just don't know why the missiles are firing at each other. Oh. I know what I did. Yeah. That's the problem. That's what I did wrong. Okay. That should work now. And it's not pushing with enough speed. Mainly because the muzzle points are not tilted up. Alright, let's check the fire points here. Alright, so there's that. So we need to tilt the cannons up a bit here. We're going to tilt the cannons up just a bit. There we go. Now let's test it out. Yeah, that's better. Those need to be fired up a bit. There we go. And we got Kaboink, which is auto lock. Let's increase the player's field of view. Let's close down enemy small. Let's check, increase the field of view angle to be a little bit bigger there. There we go. And let's go to the small turrets. There we go. Copy and go to this cannon here. There we go. That should increase the range of every single shot fired. As a matter of fact, doink, kaboom. Yep. Oh, right over him. Might be a little too high. Yeah, it's too high. Okay, so it's gonna lower it just slightly. Copy it. Go to the other small cannons and paste. That wasn't on angle there. There we go. Let's change the shooting angle here of the main cannon. Field of view. What's this thing's field of view? The small ship. Field of view bow 101. There we go. That'll do. There we go. Still good. Alright. So now we need to go into the movement here. Enemy movement. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, so let's take this dampen out. Distance is greater than stop distance. Here we go. Take dampen. Let's just go ahead and delete this. Okay, so that works. Do I build 3D models of the ships and stuff? I do not. Those are coming directly from the Unity Asset Store. Sorry if I didn't notice the chat. I kind of got sapped into what's going on here. I did not build those, no. Let's see. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. But there is one model in here, well, not this one that I made, but there's one model in here that I'm not downloading and putting it in the file until it's ready to go. So that'll be cool. Alright. So let's just go this way and try to get out of the field of view. See if it'll turn. Yep, it's turning to face me. Now let's see if it stops. There we go. Yep, it works. Enemy AI works almost damn near perfectly. I've actually made more complex decision-making AI than this, but that was for like a Twisted Metal style game I made, which kind of have to be. Alright, let me respond to this guy. I'm selling some of my Warhammer stuff. Are you selling the games you make to developers? I am not. I'm not selling these to people. I'm making these and selling them myself. But this one's going to be free, because this is a jam game. There we go. Alright, so that works. I want to give the player a front-facing sort of like minigun kind of thing. So let's go to cannons. Don't know why I just did that. Let's see, cannons. And that is another message. Oh, that's from my skate group. Awesome. Who's good at math right off the top of their head? What's 150 divided by 2? What's that, 75? Yeah, that's 75. Yeah, okay. Math is not my strong suit, so if you want a funny little story, so whenever I was in high school, so first off, when I was in high school, I failed my first year. Do I play the card games like Magic? I do not. I do not play Magic. My friends have tried to get me into it so damn much, and it's just card games break my brain. Yet I will roll dice endlessly in Warhammer, do math in D&D, books, all that kind of stuff. But I do have a friend, my friend Jeff plays it. He plays it really well. But yeah, I in high school, I was held back the first year. I had to repeat ninth grade, some ninth grade courses, but not all of them. And then in 10th grade, so this is where none of my memories come back. 10th grade, I was in, and then I actually can't remember some of this. I just know I was held back a year, and then I was placed into online classes right before we moved down here, whenever my parents were still together. And I had an online math course. On the computer, that I almost failed. Yeah, I almost failed an online math course. That's messed up because I can be really, really stupid sometimes. To the point of damn absurdity, you know? Alright, so I might have just sold one of my Warhammer minis. Yeah, math was never my strong suit. Never was. Yet, I play D&D, which is like 80% math. I don't get... As a matter of fact, whenever I went to college, I went to a community college, which not exactly saying much. The math class I took was ironically easy for me because it was just restating everything I learned in junior high and high school. So it wasn't like all this crazy complex stuff. Hold on, I'm checking my thing because I might have just gotten a sale. But I was in there and we had like a slight introduction to everybody kind of had play D&D on the PC. I did that for a good couple of years whenever COVID hit, so I understand that. I got another story about that, which is this is going to be great. But first, I was in college and I was in a math course, which was taught by an Australian guy, which is kind of cool. I sat in the back of class and we kind of did an introduction of everybody. And I said I'm a nerd and I play D&D, but I suck at math. His exact words though, but they go hand in hand. And this was also really cool. Homework was optional, so fucking of course I never did it. Homework was optional, and I passed that class with like a 97. And I can't believe I got away with this. The entire semester, I'm sitting in the back while he's teaching, and while everybody's doing homework, and after my test is, I'm sitting back there painting Warhammer shit the whole time. It was awesome. He'd come back and hang out with me, and I'd be passing tests and shit, and I'm just sitting there painting my shit, and it's... I can't believe I got away with that. But he came back, he was talking chit-chat with me, had no problem with me doing that. But it was one of the funniest stories I have. But on to the D&D part. Back in early... or late 2019, I believe... early 2020. No, late 2019, sorry. My local shop, or one of my local shops, they had like an Adventurers League RPG night on Wednesdays. And I wasn't familiar with 5th edition. I had played 3 and 3.5 for vast majority of my time. We skipped 4th. We just stayed in 3.5 and added some Pathfinder stuff to it, because those two were compatible. And whenever I went over to do that, to do 5th edition up at the shop, it took me 4 weeks to get, congruent with everything, to get used to the new edition. And I decided after 4 weeks of playing with the new player group, like, okay, let me give this a try DMing, because that's what I did for years. And whenever I came to do my own table, we started playing Curse of Strahd, which my current group is also playing that again. I didn't know this, but the position was paid. They asked for my tax information and everything whenever I was like, hey, I'd like to DM a table if there's one available. They're like, yeah, here, let's get your tax information. I'm like, hold on, wait, what? Apparently it was paid, and I got paid in cash. And I'm also a voice actor. Yeah, it was paid. It was paid $9 an hour for like 6 hours a day, or not 6 hours a day, 4 hours every Wednesday. And how it was paid is that people would come in and pay $5, and that would build up their pot, and they would pay me in that. And what was it? I did Curse of Strahd, and I'm a voice actor too. Have you ever heard of the Five Nights at Treasure Island series by chance? By Photo Negative Mickey? I brag about this every chance I get. I'm curious, because I got, some stories. So Five Nights at Treasure Island was one of the more popular Five Nights at Freddy's fan games. It was based off of the what is it, Nightmare at Disney or something like that. Yeah, everybody's heard of Five Nights at Freddy's. But I did play, or did whenever I was doing my YouTube, which I stopped a couple years back, and I just kind of took a break and then started doing this. I did Five Nights at Treasure Island. I played that game, and this is also what got me into game. This is like the story of how I got into game design. And the developer, Photo Negative Mickey, was just 17 at the time. I'm not going to dox his name because I wouldn't, like his real name, because that would be bad. He messaged me. Ooh, looks like it's about ready to pour. He messaged me because I was struggling with it. I was constantly dying. He messaged me, gave me some tips, and then eventually, one thing led to another, and me, him, a guy named Captain Joe, and Naily Gaming and stuff, we all started doing collab videos and streams. Playing Golf with Friends, Golf It, Dead by Daylight, which my computer couldn't handle it at the time, but now it can, because I got a new one. And Cards Against Humanity and all that good shit. Eventually, Photo Negative Mickey, PNM, this is before the days of Discord, where Discord was really big. Skype was the thing. So one day, he messages me on Skype. I just sat down on my computer, messages me on Skype, and he asked for my assistance. And I'm thinking, okay, what would little old me, who's got no specialty at all, do? And he had me help him with some cutscenes to make them seem more realistic. What the hell? Oh, it's my friend Shelby. He asked for my help on on some stuff. Sorry, I'm gonna try to go back because I had a thing here. There we go. Okay. Oops. Shit. But anyway, he had me help with some cutscenes and stuff. He was doing it all in Blender. Keep in mind, he was 17 at the time. And and I'm helping him making things look more realistic. I'm with him for like an hour and a half on Skype. And whenever that session was done, whenever he's like, all right, thanks, I can get the rest of it from here. After that, I'm thinking, my God, if a kid is doing this is not at all a knock to his skills or anything. Or thinking he's just a kid, I can do better. No, of course not. But I'm thinking, God damn, a kid is able to do this. I thought you needed to go to school for ever to do stuff this crazy, this good. I'm thinking a kid's doing this, and he just has at the time he had a manual that helped that he was able to mess with Blender like that. I'm thinking, my God, if a kid can do this, who says that I can't do it too? If he learned to do it, I mean, I could learn to do it too, right? So I decided to jump headfirst into it, and got RPG Maker XP. RPG Maker is a very good place to start. You get introduced to various concepts, and that's what started my game design career. That's what started my game design endeavor, I should say, and I've grown since then. But also in the further games that he's made, Five Nights at Treasure Island, 1, 2, 3, whatever numbers he makes them. The Lost Ones series, all bunch of those. If you watch those or play those, the cult leader, that's me. I'm also the phone guy for a couple games. I think I was a monster for 2 of them. I don't know which ones I was. But I was a voice actor for his work. Now, I couldn't get paid because he couldn't get paid because it's a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game, so you can't get paid for that. But, what I do know is that Markiplier has heard my voice, and so is PewDiePie and Jack. I think Jacksepticeye. But, I taught people how to play the games, so that's a really big, major ego boost for me. What the hell? Oh, Sandman. Okay. But yeah, that was really cool to me. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Is this cannon all I can do there? Is there any two-shot cannons, or are they all three? They're all three. Okay. I should have, like, forward-facing cannons. Just so the player can fire. I don't add voiceover effects to these games, but for the monsters, he did. He did edit the monsters' voices. For the cult leader, no, that's straight up me. Yeah, the cult leader is straight up me. That's just straight up my voice. I got the inspiration for that voice from the Chaos Sorcerer voice actor. Can't remember his name, but he voice acts a lot. The Chaos Sorcerer voice actor for Dawn of War 2. Chaos Rising and Retribution. Which I love those games. Those are my games. That's just my fucking jam, guy. Let's hear a sample. Okay. Let me pull it up. Are you talking like me pulling up a sample or me like... As a matter of fact, let's do one of my personal favorites. A Russian or Ukrainian accent. It's just... in that voice actor. Alright. Alright. Let me get into the mood. By doing that, I'm going to pull up the audio for the character I was basing it on, so I can kind of get into the feel of it. It's not something I can pull off. As a matter of fact, whenever I sent him, so that audio's there. Give me just a second. Let me pull the mic closer here. So I'm going to say it in three ways. First, I'm going to say it in a way of urgency. Like, you know, get to the ship, no, that kind of thing. I'm going to say it with a degree of urgency. Then I'm going to say it like a villain saying, like, kind of like nonchalantly telling them to get to the ship, that kind of thing. Voice acting is fun. From what I've done, it's fun. So we're going to say it in two lines. One is a sense of urgency. Two is like nonchalant. We'll do the nonchalant one first. Let me lower the sound of the music. God, it's been forever since I've done any voice lines. What was that? Oh, new message. Give me just a second. What is that? I need a pop filter. That's why I have to hold it off to the side. Ship now. As a matter of fact, here. Go to my history. Something about a group. What? The hell is this? What kind of money is this? But let's first listen to the voice lines that this is from. Alright, so we're going to turn the volume up on... We're going to... I might have to expand this a bit. Yep. So we're going to lower it. Pause that for a second. No wonder that site can't be reached. Probably because it's fake. Alright, so this is the voice that I got it from.
For 1,000 years, I have cultivated the power of the dark gods. Death is but another foe I have defeated. Do not waste my time on nonsense then. Yes, what next?
I don't know whose voice this is, actually.
Look at them, so weak and so vexed.
Yeah, that's the vocals that I got that from. That's like the tone of voice for a cult leader. Let's go 5 Nights at Treasure Island. The Lost Ones, real quick. Let's see. Let's try to find the ad. See, these are from years ago here. First night preview. Alright, so this might be it right here. That's an ad. See, sounds like an insane cult lead. That's actually exactly where I got it from. This is the actual scene. Oh, that's just the first night preview. Let me go to his YouTube here. Let's see where that's going here. See if I can't find the ad for it, because he posted a trailer for it. 1 year ago. This is where he's playing a bunch of stuff. Five Nights with Mac Tonight. God, that was forever ago. I remember that. First night preview. The end of Undying. Man. Where is it? I've got to find it. I know it's here. Ah, release trailer. Here we go.
I bet you thought it was going to be easy. The Dark Lord has been summoned upon us. Yet one of his followers has turned a blind eye. And we're going to make sure he doesn't get away with it.
Here's the trailer for that, by the way. I'm just going to skip around to the voice lines. I think that's it. Yeah, that's the that's the trailer. I posted it there. That's one of the games I've voice acted for. So that's really cool. God, why is my phone not charging for shit, man? In this past 2 hours, it's only charged like 14%. Yeah. Him and I, we don't talk a whole lot anymore. Mainly because like he's doing his own thing. But as a whole, he's really cool. He's what got me started in game development, and I will never not give him the props for that. Alright, so let's use this object here. Skinned mesh renderer. Mesh cannon. Small cannon. There we go. It's a bit awkward. That's why it looked a bit awkward. Kind of given front-facing cameras. Need to do a little prepping for your stream. Start in a couple hours. I might be able to check it. It just depends on what I've got going on later on. But I will certainly try to get to it if I can. Let's copy component. Delete. Talk to you later, boss. You have a good night. Turret. Alright, so now let's post this component. Now let's expand the size of this thing, I guess. We gotta move it forward too. We're gonna shrink it just slightly. There, sort of give it like front-facing cannons. Materials. There we go. Okay. Let's see. So let me go actually into player combat. Fix up the mouse button here. And call it key code F. There we go. That way you can fire the front cannons without any issue. Alright, so that works. Alright. I am being called for something, so I need to actually jump for a minute. I will be back in a quick second. Just give me a minute.